Hey guys, welcome back to Becca Scoops. I am Becca Scoops, and I have got a great video lined up for you today. A little surprise, a little surprise. Yeah, so on my live stream, we went over Ryan Anderson reacting to the first episode of Life After Lockup. And he did a little surprise. He decided to watch episode 2, I guess yesterday, thanks to Renelle Smith, who these clips are from. She caught it. And so it was really actually interesting. Ryan has learned some hard truths. He was surprised about Gypsy gaslighting him and about some other things that he didn't know. Story that Gypsy tells Christy during it, and he stops the video and goes, "What? I never heard that story." And of course, it is a horrible story about her mother. You would think this would be a story Gypsy would have shared with Ryan, but she didn't. And Ryan was shocked by this. And we're going to get to that and much more. There's a lot to go over that I, cherry picked out of this that I found interesting. Now, but before we get to that, Gypsy's been really laying low on social media since her big 9 million TikTok account got banned. It's still gone, but she did publish, and you know what? I was going to record these ridiculous videos that she put up over on TikTok. I'm sure it's on her Instagram too. But I just screenshotted a couple of things to share with you because what is she doing? Well, a makeup tutorial. Here it is, getting glam after 30. Getting glam after 30. That's the screenshot I took. And then I took one other. All it is her applying makeup. And she confesses during it, "Well, I'm not a professional makeup person." Well, then why would anyone go to you to learn how to do makeup? I don't understand. This was quite telling. As you see, official Gypsy Rose 1 day ago. Do you see that? 1 day ago. 1 day ago, right? Supposedly on this account, she's up to around 250,000 followers. A lot of us believe she's buying many of these followers because they're increasing quite rapidly, not like organic growth. But here's what's interesting. Out of 250,000 people that are following her, and I think when I screenshot this tutorial, getting glam after 30, I think it had 300,000, around 300,000 views. Look at the comments. 10 comments? Only 10 comments? I mean, even if she's limiting the comments or even if she's deleting comments, 10? 250,000 followers? 300,000 views? The math just isn't mathing, as we say these days, right? That's all. That's all I'm going to say. I just couldn't even screenshot it. I just couldn't do it. It was just too ridiculous and too boring. And I don't know. Okay. I don't know. She's trying to play it safe. I think she actually said that after the ban. Going to have to play it safe. Well, no one said it had to be boring, right? Okay, so let's go ahead, and you know how we do this. This probably is going to be like an hour video or more. So settle in. It's going to be interesting. I can promise you that. Go get your beverage of choice, your popcorn, whatever snack you need, and spend a little time with me as we go over Ryan Anderson watching episode 2. He says for the first time. Okay, I don't know if it is or not, but here we go. This first clip is towards the beginning of the episode 2. And he's going to find out some revelations here also about. Let me just play it.
We got directives to enjoy the day, enjoy the night, wake up, have breakfast, and then we'll go back to normal. Okay?
Love you.
Love you too.
So what'd you do last night? Was a bag coffee?
Okay, now here we go. We've got Christy, we've got Mia, and we've got Gypsy all kind of in a little hall area. And either Mia or Christy is saying, hey, what did you do last night? So this was her first night. No, her second night. The first night they stayed in the hotel after Ryan picked her up. And now they're at the Airbnb and they spent the night with her family in this house, in this rented house. And they're saying, hey, how did it go last night? Okay, they're asking Gypsy.
The bed was comfy and it was so nice. It was so nice. We consummated our marriage.
We consummated our marriage. Do we need to know? Do we need to know? I don't know.
I don't know why Christy's hugging her so much.
You're so happy for me.
All right, so I did do a screenshot of this. This is what it looks like. Christy is just jumped on her. Oh, congrats for having sex with your husband.
Christy wanted to be involved. Yeah, you see that shit? Pausing it. Y'all saw that shit? It was good. Why would she fucking lie?
So he's commenting that Gypsy said it was good because Gypsy goes, it was good, like that. And of course, Ryan's male ego is just oozing. See? She said it was good.
Why would she lie? It was good. It was good. Yep. Why would she lie? Christy Christy fucking being more excited than Gypsy. Legit should have ready to raise flag right in Gypsy's face, like right there. Like this woman's too involved. Like, all right, I'm at 5 minutes and 11 seconds. Just making me feel good. I wasn't even in the fucking room, Tammy. I had no idea Gypsy told them that.
He gets so bothered by the comments. I just don't understand it. It just cracks me up every time. He just gets so pissed off at people at his chat.
I had no idea Gypsy told him that. I wasn't even in that room.
Okay, great.
So your thought process right there, nope. I was not even in that room.
Calm down.
So just say it. All right, hidden play.
I'm happy that, it was with the right person. That's important.
And they're thinking, oh, well, we got to get Ryan out of here.
Okay.
Birth control. Did you figure that out? Okay. Do you want kids right away?
I mean, I want kids. I don't think that right away would be smart.
So now she's in a room with Mia, and Mia has taken her aside because they've learned that they've consummated the marriage. And Mia's like inquiring, well, do you want kids right away? Are you on birth control kind of a thing? Gypsy indicates to her that they're not. And that's when Mia says, well, do you want kids right away?
Great.
And she just lied to her sister, by the way. We weren't.
It happened.
They weren't using birth control. That's what Ryan said, that Gypsy just lied to her sister. It's shocking. Not, right?
Dad,
We weren't.
I just don't think that I'm not going to try. I just want to, I want to settle into marriage. I know in my heart that the marriage is stable, but I just want to feel it.
I know in my heart the marriage is stable. She's gone in like 2 days after this. Well, not, literally, like 6 weeks. 6 weeks, she's gone. I know in my heart the marriage is stable.
Out first.
Do you think that all the medication and the surgeries may have hindered your ability?
I'm hoping not. I've had regular periods. I've had 2 pap smears in prison.
And that just goes to show you by Mia asking that question, do you think all the surgeries and medications would have hindered you basically getting pregnant? It just shows how they know nothing about what surgeries and procedures Gypsy had or why. They have no idea. They're under the delusion, the narrative, or at least Mia is. What did Christy know? What did Rod know? Did they know the truth? But Mia, obviously in the total dark, and has bought the narrative that Gypsy got all of these over 20 or 30 surgeries that she didn't need and was taking all these medications she didn't need, right? Mia obviously believes that.
They all came back normal.
All up in her business. All in her
You
business.
should probably schedule a gynecologist appointment soon. Probably could find out how many eggs you have left and all that.
What?
You are able to. Me talking to you about this is not me telling you to have babies or me like,
I know.
I want you to have kids. I
know.
to prevent that.
Right, you just want to make sure that I'm doing
And it's like the first day, like that's their first time hanging out though. Like
No problem.
I get the talk.
I have a sister to talk to about this.
Thank you. Okay.
All right, they're hugging.
I'm very hopeful. And I'm
It's
worried.
different.
For sure. I'm worried about the world. It's like she's a new little born baby.
Okay.
And
I'm not
she
gonna
she just
say
lied to herself.
And all
Okay,
that.
fast forwarding here a little bit where Mia says, oh, she's like a little newborn baby. She obviously doesn't know her sister. She was not like a little newborn baby. She was very, sophisticated about the ways of the world. She had been in prison for 8 years. You don't come out of prison like a newborn baby. Okay? You come out of prison kind of streetwise. Pretty streetwise. All right, let me see where the next portion is. Hold on here, guys. Okay, now they're opening presents. Remember, she got released December 28th, and so Gypsy is opening up her presents.
This is gonna be a bumpy ride.
It's gonna be a bumpy ride because she was ready to fuck it up.
We're her tribe.
He's talking about Christy. Christy just had a real quick bit there talking about it's going to be a really bumpy ride for Gypsy in life. And so that was Ryan's reaction because we know he takes all of his anger, all of his venom, all of his vile is directed at Christy, not Gypsy.
And this is my big present to you.
Okay. Ooh, Christian Louis Vuitton. These are really nice.
Ooh, Christian Louis Vuittons. We all remember this. I've got a screenshot of it just for nostalgia. There she is with the black red bottom shoes. And of course this became a pretty big joke, just because of the way she opened it, the way she pronounces it, all of it. But you guys know that. So let's get back to the clip.
That's from Dad.
That's the only one that I'll pick.
Okay.
I'm going to fast forward here, guys. She opens up a present for her dad. It's like this necklace or something with some engraving. She reads, it's like a very sentimental quote on it. I want to get to when Ryan discovers something about TMZ and Gypsy and Christy. So hold on.
Gypsy Rose Blanchard posted her first social media post since being released from prison yesterday. It was a selfie on Instagram with the caption, "First selfie of freedom."
She truly looks so happy. Gypsy Rose's family had a welcome home party. Via caption, the photos was saying, "The sweetest hello, welcome home, sister."
Some really disappointing news just came out about Gypsy Rose and her going to the Chiefs game tomorrow. Unfortunately, she will not be attending because she has been ordered to leave the state of Missouri by her parole officer.
Now, of course, this is TMZ. This is TMZ reporting.
TMZ
According to
report.
TMZ.
All right, I'm pausing it. How the fuck did TMZ know? Like, that's crazy. Because I sure as fuck didn't call them and tell them. Like, some of shit just crazy. Like, just crazy. It's bizarre.
Okay, so there it's kind of sinking into him. He didn't call him, so who called, right? And of course, in the chat, people are like, Gypsy called them all the time. Christy called them all the time. Yeah, so there's his face, like utter surprise, utter shock, utter surprise at that event. I don't know why it would be a shock or a surprise. It really shouldn't be, right? I mean, yeah, it's interesting. All right, let's get to the next clip here that I thought was really interesting. I think you guys are going to enjoy it, find it interesting too.
Guess who texted Christy this morning?
Now they're in a car. They're riding back now from Missouri to Louisiana, and it looks Gypsy is going to say something here to Ryan about how Christy that can't. She's going to say, "Guess who texted Christy?" And of course, we know it's Ken. She's going to say the initials KU, and she's talking to Ryan, and they're in the car on the way back to Louisiana. All right, here we go.
Guess who texted Christy this morning, or yesterday morning?
No.
I'm so happy she's out of prison. KU.
No.
Yeah.
He said some other initials. So when she said KU, he wasn't thinking that's who it was going to be, which is interesting.
Yes.
She loves every minute of it.
Okay, now this is interesting. He's admitting she loves every minute of this, actually torturing him, so to speak, relaying this that Ken is sniffing around. That's her term, right?
It's not like she singled him out and was like, by the way,
Bullshit.
Ken texted me.
Bullshit.
Too late, buddy.
Pen is my ex. Pen and I
What a
first.
dude.
All right, so I'm going to show you what she looked like, what Gypsy looked like. This was her telling Ryan that. This is the delight. Of course, she's got a McDonald's French fry she's feeding her face with, but it was utter delight to tell her husband that her ex, fiance is trying to get in touch with her. And I just find her delight sadistic in nature. Okay, let's get back to this.
Dating in September of 2017.
What a douche.
We were together for 2 years.
I don't want to see their 4 pictures. Literally like 4 fucking pictures. Ugh.
So on the screen right now, what they're showing is this. They're showing like a montage of, I think there's 1, 2, and then one more of Ken. According to Ryan, Ken only visited Gypsy twice. And he makes a big deal about that because I guess he visited Gypsy every other month at some point during their relationship.
Literally 4 fucking pictures. Look, and they really did this on the first episode, second episode. Like, really?
Christy, respect our marriage at all.
Of course.
Oh.
I mean,
I just wouldn't have told you that.
No, she didn't. She didn't respect our marriage at all. You can see it on my face. Like, what the fuck? All right, got an ad. You can see it on my face. Like, really? Second episode, they're already bringing this dude up. Like, really? Well, a big fuck you to Ryan.
So he seems visibly upset, visibly angry, still at this situation, meaning he's not moved past it at all. He's still very angry about it.
RG was Rachel Garlick, her friend.
Okay, now they're going to talk about someone named Rachel Garlick here, and I thought that I would keep this in because it's what he's going to say about Rachel Garlick proves how much Gypsy lied to him. Rachel Garlick, as many of you know, was an inmate with Gypsy. They became BFFs at some point, best friends. In fact, so close that Rachel named her daughter after Gypsy when she got out of prison. Now, Rachel got out of prison way before Gypsy did. And Rachel, at the behest of Gypsy, started social media for Gypsy because Gypsy was all about wanting to get back on social media. And so Rachel did this. So now let's listen to what Ryan has to say about Rachel Garlick,
who used her to. RG was Rachel Garlick, her friend, who used her to. Everybody Gypsy's messed with has ultimately used her. Everybody. It's sad, but it's true.
Okay, let's set the record straight about Rachel Garlick, shall we? I've got some prison emails here. Let's just briefly go over it so that Ryan knows and everybody knows that Rachel Garlick did not use Gypsy. It was always the other way around. Now, this is what I call the Rachel Garlick issue, and these emails start in January 27th, 2021. The main theme is going to be this. Here's the crux of the situation. Rachel gets out of prison at the behest of Gypsy. She opens TikTok accounts, I don't know, Instagram, Facebook, I'm not sure, but opens social media accounts in Gypsy Rose's name. And she is obviously the admin for these accounts, and Gypsy's still in prison. But when Gypsy finds out that her parole hearing is coming up, she is advised not only by her family, but she realizes it too, that these social media accounts that are taking in money and selling merchandise probably isn't a good look. And so Gypsy wants Rachel to take down these social media accounts post haste. So this first email, my emails to you are personal. Nobody needs to know everything and every detail about me, especially when I'm selective of who becomes close friends. I know you have the best. This is Gypsy writing to Rachel. The best intentions with me, but I am in the free. I am not in the free world. Things like TikTok and Facebook. When I'm in the free world, things like TikTok and Facebook will have to wait for me. And when I am free, I'll be able to have fun with all of that stuff. But right now, my name needs to be off social media. I have a hearing coming up soon. Keeping the hype low is best. I want to go to the board with as little issues, the parole board, with little issues as possible. And I will, and then it goes on to something that I can't read. I'm emailing you, but they are like holding them. Okay. Then like a week later or 2 weeks later, about a week later, these emails start popping off. Gypsy is sending to everyone she knows this. I am ending my friendship, and it was with Rachel Garlick, because she has exploited our friendship for financial gain, and that is not okay with me. I no longer support her TikTok. So she sent out multiple emails to different people saying that, which was really not a nice thing to do. And then what happens is, let's see. Okay, so she said, I had a friend look at your TikTok on Saturday night, and I was told everything that I had emailed you previously was still up for people to view. I told her there was Cash Apps that were still up saying, show your support. I was told that there was so much more merchandise than what you said. This is Gypsy to her, to Rachel. I thought you made 40 shirts and masks. I didn't know about phone covers, hoodies, tank tops. Okay. So here Gypsy is admitting that she did know about certain merchandise that was being sold in her name, but certain items of merchandise she didn't know about. So I did know about this merchandise. I didn't know about this other merchandise. Okay. When I told you I wanted it all gone, I meant stop everything. You have exploited our friendship and I'm hurt. And now that I went over your head to check what you were doing. So she's saying, I went over your head to see has she taken it down or not, or what's going on? I found out way more than I knew, and that is not cool. No wonder I'm getting dogged out and got dumped over this bullshit. Okay, I think when she says got dumped over this bullshit, I'm not sure which relationship she's talking about. Now it all makes sense. By the way, my relationship wasn't practiced. Just because I'm here doesn't make the love feel any less important or valid than if I was on the outside. What was practiced was our friendship. Okay, now this next one is going to prove that Rachel Garlick did not rip her money off. To clarify, she has sent me money, including the money sent from the people in other countries that don't know how to use the JPay. So they send her the money, and she sends it to me through her JPay account. And then she talks about the boyfriend in Italy has sent money quite a few times. So I never denied any of that. So she's saying, I never denied I never denied that you ever sent me money. Yeah, you did. You wrote emails to everyone that Rachel exploited you for financial gain. And obviously you told Ryan this story because we just heard it. And then, so she is a liar. Again, she is a liar. And Ryan is believing Rachel Garlick was this horrible person. And so here's the proof. There's an email right there from Gypsy back to Rachel saying, to clarify, I never said you did this. You did send me this money. And she's acknowledging that. But to everyone else, she said, I'm ending my friendship because she has exploited our friendship for financial gain. That last email here is at the same time, between February 7th and 17th, 2021, Gypsy sent out this email almost hundreds of times to people. Dear family and friends, I'm writing to inform you I'm scheduled for my first parole hearing December 2021. Okay. So that is how the Rachel Garlick thing went down. I'm sure Rachel's got other stories, but there is Ryan to this day bad mouthing Rachel Garlick and believing the lies. Why? Because Ryan, you don't look at the prison emails. Ryan, you don't look at the videos. Ryan, you're not looking at the evidence. And so all you're doing is repeating Gypsy's narrative over and over again. But when it comes to you, you're starting to discover what I'm calling the hard truth. Okay, let's get back to this.
Sad but true. So whatever. Rachel Garlick, her friend, who used her too. Everybody Gypsy's messed with has ultimately used her.
Okay, really? Really? You really believe that still? I can't. He's going to learn some other things here, though. So let's keep going. This next one, it only gets more interesting as we go on here. All right, let's bring up the next clip.
This is
Oh my God.
raw that if you put it in a nice bow, it's like a...
Now, Gypsy has led the production crew who are filming her into the bedroom where she's showing some sexy lingerie to them. And that's why Ryan's looking at it and going, oh my God, like that. Like he didn't know she had done this.
Christmas present bow.
Why is she showing this?
As you can see, it's nothing to it. So he bought these for me about 2.5 years ago.
2.5
We
years
just started
ago.
dating, and I think he had like full confidence that we would work out perfect.
Yeah.
I always wanted to wear this one for the first time, but I ended up just being like, all right, let's do this.
All right, I'm going to pause it here. We're going to come right back to this, but I'm going to show you without the sound, the actual clip of what she's showing. What is she showing? Hold on here. Clip in a minute because I'm going to turn up the sound on a really short snippet of it because it's really, really interesting. All right, let's get back to Ryan.
Part of womanhood is learning to be comfortable.
Why is she showing this shit?
And for years I wasn't. I'm self-conscious because I have scars all over my body. And I had a lot of surgeries that were unnecessary. And so I'm like, am I gonna be what he wants me to be? Am I attractive to him? And even to the point that I'm like, don't even look at me down there, you know, don't, because, and he's like, it's okay. For a long time, I actually kind of like questioned like my own sexuality because as a teenager or a preteen, I felt that I was attracted to girls. And I got to experiment with that in prison. I think I kiss more girls than I have guys.
Here's Brett.
Such big fears that I was like, oh, no, I'm just not gonna like sex. I feel.
She said, oh, no, I just thought I'm just not going to like sex. I can't with all the videos we've seen, right? All right, let's keep going.
Like I don't have a sex drive.
I don't think I have a sex drive. What? Are you what? Of course, at this point, guys, she doesn't know all of those videos she sent to Nick Go to John are going to come out. She doesn't know. So she could go ahead and just play this. I don't even know if I have a sex drive card, right?
Preteen, I felt that I was attracted to girls. And I got to experiment with that in prison. I think I kiss more girls than I have guys.
Here's Brett.
Such big fears that I was like, oh, no, I'm just not gonna like sex. I feel like I don't have a sex drive. There is a rule against masturbation in prison.
I feel like I don't have a sex drive. This coming from one of the most hypersexual individuals I've ever seen in my life. And I'm talking about even from when I was a psych nurse. Okay. I've never seen anyone as hypersexual as Gypsy Rose Blanchard. Okay. I mean, it's just crazy that she would say that.
Not only do you have the risk of if you get caught masturbating, but for me, I can go 6 months and just be fine. And I'm like, what happens if I'm not a sexual being?
She goes, what happens if I'm just not a sexual being? I can't make this up that she said this. Of course, I watched this a long time ago before the videos came out, right? We knew of the pictures of her, you know, dress up licking the knife and stuff like that, but we didn't see all of the searches online, the you know, the Kitty Chateau place she wanted to go to. You guys know if you've been around this case, and for those of you that are new, look, you've probably seen some of the FOIA the videos with it she sent to Nick Go to John. She's extremely hypersexual. Okay. When she was in prison, she was extremely hypersexual in the way she wrote to people, the way she talked about it. She talked about BDSM, that she really enjoyed that. She wanted to go to this Kitty Chateau place where they dress up like kitties. And it's like this BDSM, it's like this Playboy mansion, but it's BDSM, basically, you know, the whips and the chains and the tying up and all that kind of stuff. Okay. So she's extremely sexual, extremely. Okay. So this is it just kind of blew my mind. And he's kind of looking at it like,
And so
she was.
He's saying she was sexual because that's what she just said.
Prison. Not only do you have the risk of if you get caught masturbating, but for me, I can go 6 months and just be fine. And I'm like, what happens if I'm not a sexual being? And so
she was.
Do you have any idea, Ryan, that how like it went, how far it is though with her? I mean,
oh my God.
She was.
Well, what you know that's not any like no brainer. That's not like any revelation to the world at large at this point, is it? I think he thinks it is. I think he thinks he's telling us something we don't know, which kind of blew my mind too. Okay.
All right, we got a couple special treats for y'all.
All right, some non-alcoholic.
And then sparkling rose.
Oh God, I think I still have that.
Sparkling rose.
That's what I figured. No, that's you.
I think I still have that in my kitchen.
Before, so I made sure to get it.
Okay, so now they're making dinner, and this next part, I'm going to fast forward a little bit. This is where she corners Christy, where Ryan and Rod go out to barbecue steaks or something out in the patio or wherever they're at. And now she's just with Christy having a conversation. Okay. This to me did blow my mind because it blew his mind. And it showed him that she is such a liar. Okay. Let me get to that. Hold on.
Thank you.
Can I tell you something that I've never told you guys before? So, you remember whenever you and Dad came to my wheelchair games, the wheelchair races that I was in? So, after, when y'all left, my mom said that Dad was making fun of me. And that, I know, but she said, this is why I don't invite them to anything, because you know what your dad said? And I said, what? She's like, called you a retard.
I'm Preston
What?
from Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I started peptide therapies in addition to.
Okay, so what she said is, can I tell you something, Christy? Christy's like, yeah. Well, when I would be in these wheelchair races and you guys would come and watch, my mom said after that my dad would call me retard. Okay. And so Ryan's watching, he's listening to this. Here's his reaction.
Oh, wow. Wow. Okay. I'm on an ad, so that's what I'm doing. I don't remember that story. That's why I kind of reacted. I don't remember that. I really don't. I don't remember that one. Don't remember that one.
You're just kind of taking it in like, wait a minute, I don't remember that one. I don't remember that. Like she compartmentalizes everybody. She tells Christy certain things. She tells Ryan certain things. She tells her dad certain things. She tells Ken certain things. She tells, Mia certain things. Because she's lying all the time, depending on who her audience is, there's the lies, right? So he's kind of thinking about it there. That's his inquisitive face, kind of like, right? You're learning it. Are you learning her now, who she is? Probably not. But it should be sinking in now. It should be sinking in now.
But when my ex-wife said I was confident, that yes, I was.
But now he dismisses that, which is a point he needs to really dwell on. He really needs, for his own mental health, to dwell on that lie, right? He's got to know it's a lie, because if it was something that major, that big, that hurtful to her, she would have told him also about it, because they talked for hours and hours and hours on prison phone calls, right? About everything. But what does he go to here? He's going back to the sex and how wonderful he was. This is what he's gone back to in his mind, though. He wants to make sure his audience knows that she has confirmed he's good in bed. He's a dynamo. Remember what I showed you on the live? He's a dynamo in the sack. So, yeah, this is how he does it. This is how he stops himself thinking about what he really needs to think about, and goes back to his ego and his, male, that kind of a thing, to ensure that everyone knows He's a dynamo.
I don't remember that one.
Here he goes now. Watch him switch it.
Don't remember that one. But when my ex-wife said I was confident, that yes, I was.
And Gypsy said that he was confident when he was giving her the lingerie that they were going to have there. Not only was she going to be wearing it, but she would be taking it off, and that he was confident in that department, in their physical relationship department. And so this is how he changes the subject, not only for the audience, but mainly for himself, because he can't face it. Because that did throw him off about that little tidbit about the retard, that Gypsy claims her mom called her.
That's why I even bought lingerie and stuff. I was confident that I would see her in it and all that stuff.
I can't.
As a guy, you have to have that confidence, and I had it.
I'm throwing things. I've got my.
I knew the connection we had. And looking back, I guess I was wrong. I guess I was wrong, so it is what it is.
You were wrong that she had any real feelings for you. Okay. It wasn't you. She's not capable of them. You don't understand the problem with her being the antisocial, allegedly personality disorder, someone that can't feel empathy, someone that mimics human emotions. She watches people. She learned this from an early age, probably watching people mimicking what true emotion looks like. Now, sometimes she does cry real tears but only if she's feeling sorry for herself. She can't feel the empathy for another human being. It's only for herself and how life impacts her, not how life impacts other individuals. Okay.
I love move on, dude. Move on. Like, no shit. No shit. All right, 4 seconds. 3. And for people who are in here bitching, pause it. I'm pausing it. Why the fuck are you even here? Like, I'm genuinely curious. Are y'all just here to like talk shit?
All right, so he goes on and on about, yelling at the chat and upset with people that are there that, make like the comments that he doesn't like. Let me get to the next important clip. Okay, let's take a listen to what Gypsy says right after she tells Christy about her mom calling her the R word, okay? And now she's going to double down and really, go after her mom. Really, really devastate Dee Dee's character here.
It was just comment after comment, and after so many years, comments build up. Yeah. And opinions are formed.
Okay, so it was comment. Now Gypsy's not only that comment, but it was comment after comment after comment, and after so many years, opinions are formed. She's talking about that her mom. She's alleging that her mom would say all of these really, really horrible, negative things about her father, about how her father didn't love her, and
my mom could have been honest with me.
She twists things in stories to make herself seem holier than thou. That's how Gypsy told the world this was a reality series that everyone watched, just doubling down on that narrative that started way back after she got arrested, when they had to come up with some mitigating circumstances. And so they went with that Dee Dee is the monster who tortured Gypsy medically, emotionally, and physically. That is what the story has been up until this point, up until a couple years ago when our little community started looking into the case. And we've come a long way and we're doing great. And I can tell you something big happened today about the docuseries. It is moving along. That's all I can say. But rest assured, I won't stop until it gets out the whole truth. And I know you guys won't either. Okay. Let's get to the next clip. So that was that clip. Now, this was a little interesting during During Ryan's reaction last night, watching episode 2, his cousin starts texting him, very upset. Let's take a look at what happened.
As a little girl, I didn't imagine that I would be dancing with my dad one day. You know, I didn't think that he was going to be a part of my life.
That's the noise of his phone. Ryan's looking at his phone. The text is coming in from his cousin who is upset Ryan is doing this. It's pretty funny. Let's watch.
Cuz, that is Ryan and Pixie. My cousin just texted me. He thinks I got the Ryan and Gypsy light on. That's Ryan and Pixie, dude. Like, what the fuck are you talking about?
All right, so there's some background music there that I'm sure is copyright, but I just wanted to show you guys. Ryan's interrupted by his cousin. His family are trying to contact him. Ryan, don't do this. And what is that in the background? They think Ryan still got the Ryan and Gypsy neon sign still up, and they're like, text him now. There's something not right. Get a hold of him right now because he's still got that sign up. Yeah, I thought that was pretty funny and that I would share with you. Okay, let's get to the next clip. Before I do, I want to like backtrack just a little bit, guys, and talk about Gypsy talking about and telling the world she had no sex drive, talking about how she could go 6 months easy in prison without, doing the masturbating. Okay. She was saying, I could go 6 months. I don't think I have a sex drive. I don't know if I'll have a sex drive when I get out of prison. I mean, when she got out of prison. Now she's with Ryan. It's her first chance. She's telling the world this when we know she had this whole very intricate sexual relationship with Nicholas Godejohn and with Dan Glidewell, the previous and first kind of paramour in her life. And so I wanted to bring up this clip from an inmate. Just a refresher here of what one of Gypsy's good friends in the county jail said about Gypsy and her sexual drive.
Sex fiend the hell out. It's embarrassing, but she told me she's been masturbating since she was 4 years old. Okay,
yeah,
she's fucking sex fiend the hell out. I mean, that.
Right.
She is sex fiend the hell out. She has been emming since she was 4 years old.
And the only thing she's just never gotten emotional about her mom. Not one time has she cried about her mom. She's cried one time, it's been over Nick. And that's it.
What, because he's in jail arrested or what?
Because she loves him.
Gotcha. Yeah.
What the fuck are you talking about? Why aren't you crying about your mom, bro?
Exactly.
And it's either she talks about Nick or she just constantly talks about sex.
Right.
I mean.
She constantly talks about sex. Okay? Now, why would this person say this? This isn't anything that's going to get her a deal of any kind. These are just, tidbits that, that she wouldn't have to lie about, or, if she was trying to get out early or something, is what I'm saying.
Even talking about Mike Stanfield, earlier. Like, what the fuck?
She talked about Mike Stanfield like in a sexual way, is what this inmate is implying.
I'm telling you,
sure.
It's terrible.
We're all adults here, so that's fine.
But
yeah, that's over excessive, I'm sure. So
you think? Like, get the fuck away from me, The way she moves and all this other crap, she's sick, man.
Yeah.
She's not right. And I think she's gonna get away with it if we don't do something about it.
Okay, so I just wanted to give everyone that reminder. Of course, that's not the only thing. There is a plethora of videos of Gypsy, right? Hold on. Just hold on here. Okay, and this video is going to prove that Gypsy not only knew exactly what BDSM was, but she was the one that set the rules for it with Nick, that she was the one that was definitely more astute in the BDSM world, not him.
For the rape fantasies, I don't mind. I think that there's a line that's very delicate that I think that we shouldn't cross too much. If, I'm fragile. That I have, I might not be as fragile as you may have thought before, because it's not the walk. But besides that, punching me is out of the question. Cutting me like really deep isn't okay. Anything that's like physical abuse that would be labeled abuse, I'm not okay with. If it's spanking, that's fine. If it's me being tied up, that's fine. I don't mind that. It's just where it comes, if I say a safe word, if it's a fantasy and we have a safe word, and if I say that safe word, that means please stop, you're hurting me, and I really don't like this anymore. And
Now, if Nick was the instigator of this BDSM relationship, he would know what a safe word means, and he would have to be educating her on it. Instead, it's she who is educating him, explaining the definition of a safe word. So much for I don't know if I'll have a sex drive. So much so I don't know if I'm sexual at all. It is really ridiculous. Okay? It's ridiculous that Ryan doesn't know what I know anything about this. So you come off like a fool, Ryan, because you don't know what she did before she met you. And you would see all the lies that she's told you, probably so many that we don't even know about. Obviously that we don't know about, that we wouldn't know about. All right, let's get to the dog issue, okay? Let's take a look at this.
Riley, you can get rid
I've
of
had
it.
animals before.
I know.
They're in a fight and Gypsy wants the dog. She wants a dog right away. They just get back to the Lake Charles apartment after leaving Missouri, and Gypsy's already looking at pets. And Gypsy tells him, I've had pets before, because Ryan's kind of like, I don't know about this, right?
Please don't treat me like I'm a child. Like I don't know what I'm doing. I know a dog is a lot of responsibility. I'll walk it, I'll feed it, I'll do everything.
She didn't.
Here, Ryan tells us that Gypsy did not walk, feed, or take care of Pixie in any way. I'm not surprised. I'm sure those of you that have been around this case for a while, you're not surprised about how she treated the cats after she murdered her mom. There's a question mark on what, happened. Did she let them outside? Did she leave them in the house? She didn't care about the animals, okay? And being that she is a sociopath, psychopath, no, they're not going to care about animals because they don't really care about people, all right?
Casey.
I think a lot of people, they have this perception of me that just because I have not experienced something, that attributes to being childlike. And for me, it's not. My mother used to treat me like a child, and she wanted me to be a child. I'm not stupid. You don't have to talk to me like I'm stupid.
I don't think I did talk about her like she was stupid. Don't think I did.
I never treat you like an idiot. I never have. I get mad when people treat you like that.
I know, and you were starting to act like them.
I'm walking a thin line with Gypsy. Like, I want her to live her life, and I want to be a controlling husband, and I'm not. But it's one of those things that if I say something that a normal husband would say, then I'm like controlling her, and I'm like her mother. And it's like, whoa, that's not fair. Any little thing could be a trigger. I got things in my past that trigger me.
So what she would do to him is if they got in a fight, she would say something that he said triggered her and reminded her of her mom. That was her crutch. That was her go-to. And he allowed it. He allowed it.
I don't like being abandoned. I like knowing that people are there for me.
So they're in this fight about the dog is what's going on.
How are you not cold? I'm over here.
And right there, one of Ryan's family members is still trying to contact him, probably to tell him, is that the Ryan and Gypsy sign? Still probably not knowing it's the Ryan and Pixie sign. He had multiple people trying to get a hold of him during this. Like, don't stop it. Don't do it. Because did he look foolish? I don't know. If you know who Gypsy is, yeah, he did look foolish, because he's acting like all of this stuff is surprising to him. Oh, she lied to me? You know what I mean? Oh, the sex drive thing, that whole thing, the dog thing here, all of it.
Reason myself.
Because I'm mad.
I apologize if you think I was treating you like a kid, because I'm not meaning to.
Thank you. We haven't had major conflict, but in the little tips that we've had, I'm pretty open about what I'm mad about. I don't want to be controlled. I push back 10 times harder if I feel like I'm being controlled. I didn't back then with my mom. There was so many times that I could have.
And here she's describing her relationship with her mom, that her mom constantly had the upper hand, when we know in her own memoir, after she shot her mom 10 times with a pretty powerful pellet gun that Dee Dee had to go to the hospital over and lied for Gypsy about, saying, I got attacked at Walmart. Let her daughter off the hook for basically a murder attempt, because Gypsy has said, I thought it was a real gun. And I was so relieved when I found out what Gypsy called it, a BB gun after, but it was a pellet gun that was pretty powerful and left some pretty deep wounds in her mother. I don't think you were afraid of your mother. You were shooting her. I think she was probably at that point pretty afraid of you. In fact, Gypsy has said that her mother's last words were, don't hurt me, Gypsy. I'm just starting to feel comfortable. Don't hurt me.
I'm so scared. Now, bring it. Because I got that confidence now.
He's upset here. We're going to go to the next clip. That was them fighting, having their first, I don't know, possibly first fight once they're together. Of course, she tried to get an annulment from him while she was in prison. She tried to do everything to get out of that relationship, but finally just went ahead and kept the marriage and decided, probably before she even left prison, that, yeah, she would stay with him for a few weeks. Maybe she even thought a few months, but she was never going to stay with him. We know that. Now Ryan is going to admit something here that is kind of interesting. Let's go ahead and take a listen to this next clip.
And got a good point. Got a good fucking point right there. That was good to see. That was good to see.
Just finished watching it. He's saying there's people have a good point about, I don't know, about how she treated him. Yeah.
Because I literally was just seem, but I seem controlling right there. How did I seem controlling?
Now he's arguing with his chat, because his chat, some people in chat are saying, but you did seem controlling.
You know what I'm saying? Like, how did I seem controlling? I mean, some people tell me I was controlling. I didn't see that. Hovering, like.
Yeah, there's an issue with the hovering. There is an issue with the hovering. Hold on. Let me get to that clip before I forget. I don't want you guys to miss it. Okay, here we go. There you go. You're hovering. One more time.
You're hovering. Thank you.
So,
I don't know, babe. Like, I would love for you to have the dog when I'm at work.
I don't see it.
So they're going to argue here. I'm going to let it play for a minute. If this gets cut out, I hope it doesn't. You're hovering. And that was the part. It kind of plays into the same thing when we watched on the live, when she gets out and he's rubbing her arm, just that creepy vibe, the creepy vibe he gives off around her. Okay, and here's the still of hovering, of Ryan hovering, where she's leaning back away. She keeps leaning. He keeps coming in. Definitely, she was not attracted to him. And I'm sorry to say that. I'm not trying to hurt Ryan's feelings or anything. But she just was not. There was never any good chemistry. There was nothing there. I don't think now with Ken and Gypsy, I don't think Ken's sexually attracted to Gypsy. She is to him. It's kind of the reverse going on there, right? Okay, guys, hold on. Let me get back to the other clip.
I didn't see that. You know, hovering, like, literally was not hovering. Like, she was looking at pictures of dogs, so I leaned in to look at a picture of a dog. And then I got, you're hovering, so I was like, okay, fine, I'm stepping away, because I sure as hell never wanted her to think I was hovering. Guys, I never said Christy was, like, we didn't argue and have moments without Christy being there. Christy introduced Ken. That's my point. Christy put that divide and made it stronger. Guys, if y'all noticed, she already had her tattoo then. I was probably already back at work. So, you know what I'm saying? Y'all need to realize that when you watch that. She already had her tattoo then. So, we had already gone to visit them. The one on her arm, like, before New York, she didn't have that tattoo. So, yeah, she was already pulling away at that point because Christy had already introduced Ken in. Like, they do a good job editing this shit. You know? So, y'all can think what you want, but, you know, whatever. All right. That was episode 2. I don't know if I'll do any more, guys. See, I get all the shit from family and stuff telling me I'm pathetic. Like, that's why I never talk about it. That's why I never fucking talk about it.
I don't know what his family's telling him. I don't think his family wants to do it on TikTok. I think his family probably wants him to get therapy, like real therapy. You know, I don't think they want him to do it for money on TikTok, is what I think.
Damned if I do, damned if I don't. Don't. Just move on. Okay. Like I haven't. You know, like I haven't. Like, shit.
Well, until you know exactly what kind of a relationship you were in, until you know the whole truth about your relationship. I named this Ryan Learns the Hard Truth because he learned about, you know, that story that where he goes, I didn't hear that story about what Gypsy told Christy. I think that was an eye opener for him. I think he paused there and then he like deflected and changed the subject really quick because I don't think it was comfortable for him to sit in the feeling that if she lied, if this is what she's doing, if she's that manipulative, if she's telling Christy this, but she doesn't tell me this, can I trust anything she ever told me? And the answer to that question is no, you can't trust anything she ever told you. It was all fake and fabricated. Okay. And I don't think he's ready to sit in that emotion yet. And anything that's going to lead to that conclusion, he changes the subject. So maybe he won't watch any more of these because he understands the further he goes along in these episodes, the more difficult it's going to be because then Ken's on the scene. And then he's really going to have to confront some hard truths. I think in this video, he confronted some hard truths about the sex drive, about stuff like that, and about, you know, that story I just talked about the hovering. And now here in this final clip, he's actually going to admit to some hard truths here. Let me go ahead and bring that up.
Just move on. Okay. Like I haven't. You know, like I haven't. Like, shit. Yeah, like, that let me see, like, you got to look at timing and shit like that, because I think I was already back at work.
Now, this is a great point that I had already put together. Now, many of you may remember that the timing of events that went on here and how quickly Gypsy turned away from him. Now, after she got out on December 28th, they did the whirlwind trip to New York, and then they get back to Lake Charles. Ryan is teaching. And so now Christmas holiday break is over with sometime mid-January. The day, and I've showed this in a clip in a video before, the day he goes back to work, the minute he leaves the apartment, Christy and Gypsy are on the phone and Christy is relating, hey, guess what? Ken still loves you. That whole scene. If you guys are new, go back into videos that I have this clip, but I'm describing it to you, that Gypsy, after Ryan leaves to go back to work, they've been together now like 2 weeks total after she's gotten out of prison. And Gypsy is sitting on the couch talking to Christy on the phone on FaceTime. And Christy is telling her Ken, becomes her baby daddy, who is her real obsession. Christy's been talking to Ken, and Ken didn't really want to leave her. He's still in love with her, and he's single. And the timing, like what Ryan's talking about here, the timing is the minute he goes back to work, he's staying here, things change. I don't know if you might want to go put this together, Ryan. Go back and look. It's in an episode. I think it's in the next episode. Pretty sure it's the next episode. We watch you leave for work, and the next scene is Gypsy and Christy talking about Ken. And that was it. Gypsy started crying, and from that moment, she had mentally now left your marriage. Mentally, she was probably 85% out of the marriage at that point, if she was ever in it at all. But for whatever reason, she talked herself into it. The reasons of that you had a place to go, and we all have gone over that before. But now at this point, when she hears Ken's available and he still loves her, basically, she's done with you. It was the minute you went back to work. You're right. So let's listen to what he said again here.
Yeah, like that let me see, like, you got to look at timing and shit like that, because I think I was already back at work at that point. Yeah, because she even said it. You're at work all day. Yeah, I was already back at work. So, that was good to see. Despite what people think, that was good to see how she treated me right there. Because I really didn't deserve that. That was good. So that's why I think I need to watch it. Sketch shit like that. Because when you're in it, you don't see it. But right there, I just saw it. And definitely different. So I love when people say, like, y'all heard the text when I was online, like, this is pathetic. I would never watch, like, I'm not sitting here pining for Gypsy. Like, that's not what this is. That's not what the fuck this was. That's not what that was. I'm not sitting there pining.
I'll tell you what part of it is. Prior to him watching these events, having these events where he watches these shows, his chat would be around 300 to 500 people at night. Okay. He was going like live once a night. When he started with these, the live that I went over on my live stream got up to about 1,400. This live got up to about 1,500 viewers. So he's looking at that. That means more money for him, more gifts for him, and however TikTok pays him. This is more for him. So it is a financial windfall for him to do this. So that's another reason why he's doing it, because I think he is pretty hard up for cash at this point.
Just watching. Like, just watching from my point of view. Well, I can only imagine the shit they start showing now. Can only imagine the shit. It gets worse, probably. And like I said, I just gave my point of view.
A lot of people keep commenting to him, you need to read the prison emails. You need to watch the videos between her and Nick. And he never addresses those. He addresses a lot of other negative comments. He won't touch those. I wonder why. Because he's not ready to find out the whole truth yet. I think he found out some, like that thing about the story with Christy and about the sex. I think he knows, and he kind of like acknowledged it a little bit, but then he did. He said, I never heard that story. I never heard that story. It just, He's starting to get it, but I don't think he's willing to really sit in the emotion yet. And so, and the other thing is when your livelihood is tied to his livelihood, which is making money on social media, is tied to these events now. It is. He's got triple the viewers now. He's tripled the viewers just doing this. And so I don't think there can be any healing going on here because he's not doing it for the right reasons. He's not doing it as he claimed to rip off the Band-Aid and clean out the wound. That's what he said why he was doing this. And he wants people to believe that's why he's doing it. But deep down, he knows the majority of the reason why he's doing this right now is because of livelihood, cash. He needs cash. And so these, watch-alongs, as he calls them, are working out for him. Let me see if I have anything else. Hold on, guys. Let me see if I have anything else before I let you guys go. Okay, guys, let's take a look at some comments from my last video. Gypsy said what? Evil Olive said, I don't understand how parents could hurt their kids. This is what Gypsy said in that video. Evil Olive says the woman who had fantasies about her future daughter losing her V card to her own father. At Brittany Tilley says, her saying, I don't know how someone could hurt that child to us, knowing the video to Nick talking about their future daughter's innocence is absolutely insane. Hold on, guys. I've got to check out something here because I obscured the name. This comment right here is from Jill B3072. Sorry, Jill, that I covered up your name. I'm so sorry, but one of our members to our Becca Scoops channel on the Truth Train, one of our favorites, Jill B3072, said she would have starved to death if it wasn't for her mom. That got 184 likes. Next up, we've got Cindy 9858 saying, my friends know my heart, in quotes. It's what Gypsy said in the video. And Cindy says, yeah, Ted Bundy's friends knew his heart. Good one, Cindy. Another one of our members, McCatherine, one of our favorites, says, Gyp talking about her freedom of speech while trying to silence other people's right to free speech. And then she's got some emojis there like, what? And last but not least, another member to our channel, one of our favorites, Aunt Edna, says, I think the only thing Dee Dee did to Gypsy was tell her no. I love this. Is so true, Aunt Edna. She was never an innocent. She was born this way. Her depravity shows daily. Wow, Aunt Edna, I gotta hand it to you. I loved that comment. I loved all of these comments. And I just wanted to give you guys shout outs in the comment section. I do read all of them. And yeah, I like to display some of them that really hit me. But I do love all of them. And I love all of you guys. And I want to thank everyone who has subbed to our channel, who has become a member to our channel. And if you're new here and you like this content, maybe consider subscribing. I do live streams once a week. Our next live stream is going to be on Thursday, time to be announced. So keep your notifications on. I've got some really great stuff lined up for you guys on Thursday that you're not going to want to miss. So that's going to do it for Becca Scoops for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys have a great rest of this Monday. All right, guys, you know how I do it. Becca Scoops out. Good night, guys. Take care.